What's up, everyone? Welcome to our first Fireside Chat. I'm Jangular, and along with me I have Charmy and Cadgore. And today we are talking about, you guessed, Pokemon Go. And we've all, I'm assuming like a lot of you, have been playing a good amount of it. So, what are you guys thinking so far?
So yeah, I mean, it just came out earlier this week, and we've played a decent amount. Went on some walks.
A decent amount.
A few miles we've walked, which is, pretty good for us nerds sitting in our.
We're so fat. Anything to get us off our fat butt.
So
it's true. I've seen people that have walked, that aren't normally active people, going and walking like 10 kilometers a day, and that's kind of awesome for a game to be able to do.
That's probably one of the biggest praises I have for this game, which leads me into what I thought of the game. I give it a resounding meh.
Meh.
Not astounding by any measure.
No, so you were gonna say something.
I was, and now the subject is past.
Sorry, go.
I was gonna say, because so many people are out, it's fun to look and see like, oh man, those people are totally catching Pokemon. I'm gonna be their friend. Or else I'm like, I have a Pokemon gym now. Like I have my super good Pokemon at a Pokemon gym. So I'm like scoping out the little kids and stuff and looking at the playground. I'm like, you better not take my gym. I'll fight you.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. But yeah, I think it's good. I just think it could be better. I have a lot of gripes with it, and it feels like it's still in beta, and it's not. And that's probably my biggest problem is that and it just came out this week, so I can't blame it.
I think it was like a soft launch too, right?
Definitely, it's, as far as I'm aware, you still have to find a link to the page on Google Play. No, they officially...
the first day that I found it, I just looked on Google, I just searched it on Google Play.
Okay, so when I got it, I couldn't find it on Google Play. I had to go directly to it.
So did I, and I got it on the same day as you.
Yeah, but when I got it, I just searched it.
So they released it a little bit later in the day, but
it might be easier to do it now, but who knows.
Regardless, it was an interesting launch.
Yeah, and I can't blame them. The servers are awful right now. And this has gone into the gyms where, so if you don't know, so let's start off by, if you're the one person under a rock who does not know what Pokemon Go is.
What are these folks talking about? What are they doing with their phones walking into traffic?
Pokemon Go is a AR version of Pokemon where you walk around in the real world and you'll find Pokemon and you can, have your finger on it and throw the Pokeball.
You throw
and
Pokemon
try and
so they show up
it.
and you have your camera and you'll be like, oh, you're in the park and you'll see like a Pikachu. And you're like, cool, so you have to throw the Pokeball and try and get it just right to catch the Pokemon, and then you have that Pikachu, and it's yours, and you're a real-life Pokemon monster.
So the more Pokemon you catch, the more you level up, and there's, historical, landmarks and stuff like that become Pokestops, where you can, click it, and you can get more Pokeballs and stuff, or tombstones.
Can I say something about that? Yeah, because there's a graveyard by our house that's, all these Pokestops.
It's awkward.
And they're it's Veterans Memorial and Pagoda. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know,
not
part
worth,
of me, exactly, part of me wants to be like, oh, thank you, veterans, for your service. Thanks for 3 Pokeballs, too. You know what I mean? That feels
that's
really
not
bad.
how I'm going to thank them for their service.
It feels so, but I'm so tempted because I'm like, ugh. But fortunately, Pokeballs aren't hard to get, so I have not stooped to go to a graveyard yet. I hope I'm not offending anybody who has gone to a graveyard. If that's you,
you do you.
You do you, as long as you're not traipsing around. I found a Pokemon!
Yeah. That's another plus I have about the game, is that I have not felt like, it's a free-to-play game. And I have not felt that, you need to spend money on it. They've been pretty generous about Pokeballs. I don't know how it's going to be later on when you start needing, Great Balls and stuff, how that's going to factor in. But right now, I've been fine.
You know what is helpful to have, though, if you are going to spend money, is on incense, and then, what is it, the Pokemon...
Incubators?
Yeah. Well, the incubators, too, because... Yeah, but that, enhances it for me. It's I'm enjoying the game so much that I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. I'll throw... I bought an extra incubator, so I have 3 incubators right now, so just I'm walking around and I'm, turning these babies.
And I'm totally with you. If it's a game I enjoy and it's a free-to-play game, I am 100% down for giving them money, because they need money to continue, and you should support games you enjoy.
Exactly.
One thing...
Sorry, there was a big bug.
That's a June bug.
Real life Pokemon.
For those that don't know what AR is, going back really quick, AR is augmented reality. So it takes your camera essentially and imposes things in it. So not as deep as virtual reality, but something kind of neat.
Sorry.
There's one thing I want to say while we're on the topic of getting out and walking and whatnot is encountering people while you're actually out and about. I've been reading stories of people meeting other people, and it's pretty cool. I actually read a story of this 40-year-old guy who just couldn't fall asleep one night and decided, I guess I'll install Pokemon Go and go for a walk at 3 a.m. So, goes for a walk, goes through a park, and these guys just start calling out to him like, hey man, go check that bush over there. It's got an onyx in it. And sure enough, there's an onyx in it. It's
That's
just
awesome.
just meeting people randomly. I just think that's such a great aspect of this game that gives it such potential despite the shortcomings.
On the other end, though, you get all the people that are so fucking weirded out. Like, what is this kid doing in my driveway? Like,
yeah, that was me.
Oh my gosh. And there's already, companies with signs like, you cannot be here for Pokemon unless you make a purchase. I saw that in, I think it was a Baskin Robbins or something.
Oh, that's great.
I was like, oh no, these people think we're nuts. So you'll either make best buddies or, freak your neighborhood out,
Probably more of the latter than the former.
And I can't lie, because I was totally doing the same thing, inching towards people. I'm like, oh man, but this Eevee's in their backyard. How close can I get without being creepy?
So, I said what my general opinion of the game was, which was, meh. What is your guys' general opinion?
I guess.
First impression.
New first friend.
I think it's got potential. The foundation is there. And if they add onto it as time goes on, I think it could be a really good game that lasts a long time. Because it's Pokemon. People love Pokemon. You could have enjoyed it as a kid and not really done much of it for years. Then you find one Pokemon game and be like, oh man, I love Pokemon again. What is this? It just hits you. So it has the potential. Once they add dueling with people and if you have better ways to manage your Pokemon and kind of stuff like that, I think that'll help and that'll take things further. I know you had an idea that I thought was really cool, which was adding TMs to the world to teach your Pokemon more moves. I think that'd be so cool, just walking and find a TM for Cut or some of the other iconic Pokemon abilities.
So
do I get to say my opinion?
Yes, you do.
Me?
Yes, we're equal opportunities here.
Okay, so I guess I'm the same as Jangular.
Good, you remembered my name. I feel so
I know your real
appreciated.
person name.
So
I'm on the same page as Jangular, as I don't really have a rating for it because I think there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, but I'm super hopeful. And I think the nostalgia definitely comes into play. I loved Pokemon as a kid. That's what I had. I didn't really have friends. I wasn't really cool. I had my Pokemon Yellow and my
friends.
Pokemon Blue, my Pokemon friend, and I did. And they each had a personality, and that was my life, So this is honestly the first time in a long time I felt giddy, like a little kid again, playing a Pokemon game. But it definitely has some things that need some refining. I think finding Pokemon, I've gone for a bunch of walks, each 40 minutes, and not like today I went to a park and I walked for 40 minutes back and forth, went around, hit a bunch of Pokestops. It had a bunch of Pokestops in it, and I got 2 Pokemon. That didn't feel rewarding enough or engaging enough, worth my time to go out for 40 minutes for 2 Pokemon. Versus we went for a drive eventually, and I got a bunch of Pokemon. I was like, okay, this was worth it. So if there was more reward and more Pokemon and more encounters and they were more consistent, it's really hard to find Pokemon, and they'll be nearby in 3 steps. Everything on my list is 3 steps away, and I can't find any Pokemon.
So yeah, speaking of the footsteps, I wanted to bring that up. In beta, they had a different a thing that they had June bugs on my foot.
Pokemon!
They had a different thing that they did where they showed and if you don't know what the footsteps are, if you're near a Pokemon, you can click the nearby thing, and it shows all the ones that are near you, and footsteps, if there's 3, it's far away, if there's 2, it's closer, 1, etc., etc. But they actually had the distance in beta, and that helped not only with how far away, but what direction you needed to go, because like two footsteps to one, like, is not very much difference. 3 footsteps to 2 can be anywhere between, like, a mile, and like it's so varied that you're supposed to be able to tell the direction you need to go to find a Pokemon by, like, oh, I moved from 3 to 2, I'm going the right way. But that so rarely happens. Like, if it had just a numeric value, like, oh, I'd know, okay, I'm going one this way, one down this way, okay, this is the right way, I can continue going this way. Yeah. Right now, it just feels like I'm blindly walking around and hoping maybe I'm going the right direction.
I do want to touch on what you said about, walking around for like 40 minutes and only finding 2 Pokemon. I feel like we were definitely spoiled with, finding that you could drive around in the car, have one person drive, and everyone else is catching Pokemon.
We were responsible. I was catching 2 Pokemon for
Be responsible about this. Please do not. I hope they integrate something in the future that if you're going beyond a certain speed, essentially, it realizes you're not walking and you cannot catch Pokemon.
No, don't take my cheating method away.
Because that would be really, really important. Because you already see things on Facebook, people just being like, "Hey guys, don't be catching Pokemon while you're driving, because bad things are gonna happen."
Well, you know what? It doesn't only just happen in Pokemon. It happens in Snapchat too. Like, there was that girl that was Snapchatting trying to get her speed limit up, above, and she got in a crash, and they tried to sue Snapchat. They were like, "No, it's your fault." So it's the same issue. It's like people need to be more responsible with their phone, but Pokemon Go is definitely one that people are like, "Oh, I can totally catch this stop."
It's very tempting, but. As for the
neighbors
people
are celebrating,
shooting off some extra 4th of July fireworks they had left over, why not?
Okay. Not totally legal in
I feel
California,
like we get spoiled by that. I actually don't mind the idea of spending a good amount of time to get 1 or 2 Pokemon.
I love that. Well, I love that idea, but all I'm getting is the same Pokemon that I have like a million.
And I think part of that comes down to the evolution system, which is, in this game, you need to collect the same Pokemon over and over and over again, and they give you the Pokemon candy for their type, and then you use a certain number of those to evolve them to the next level. So you have to keep catching the same one.
Well, here's the thing. I'm absolutely fine with that. I mean, that's like a core principle of Pokemon games, right? Is that grinding and taking time. And
but it came down to combat in the games rather than catching the same Pokemon over and over.
Yeah, but it's still your time.
Right.
And you spent a lot of time getting Pokemon encounters, leveling up your Pokemon. It was like a arduous task, but you're like, well, I want to beat this gym master, get to leave or whatever. But two Pokemon encounters while I'm walking is not engaging. That doesn't make me feel like I'm really grinding and really trying for 2 Pokemon. No,
I think what would fix that, like I was saying, is if they had the actual value, the numerical value of where then you wouldn't run into because when we were walking today, we had a bunch on our phone, but it's like, well, where do we go? They're all 3 footsteps away. Where is that? Mm-hmm. If they just had even either they put in a vague direction or the numerical value. I think those one of those 2 need to be in there. And I understand that people like the mystery, I want to find them, but it's just right now it's like walking around with no purpose.
Yeah. And I mean, I actually, today I found a Squirtle in the park, and I'm like, yes, okay, let's track this Squirtle. So I got it on my little tracker. Like Brian said, it goes from 3, I get it to 2. Okay, cool, it's on 1, I'm going to find it, and then it just disappears.
No.
It just disappears, it's gone.
That's annoying.
And I mean, I was going around all the grass, you can see on the app, okay, there's some rustling grass, but it only lasts for a second, and then it disappears, and then it moves over here, and then it moves over here. It's so inconsistent, and then the Pokemon was gone. That's what I'm talking about. It's it's a lot of wasted time. I think they need to either have it be reliable, okay, it's in this spot, have it the grass rustle maybe more consistently so that I know what I'm doing, and then maybe a larger hitbox around me. Okay, once you've gotten this close to the Pokemon, it'll trigger it and start appear on the battle sense. So you can, because there's so many missed opportunities. So many times I walked past grass or in grass or, I'm chasing it and nothing. And then the Pokemon disappears. It's that stinks.
As far as I've been able to tell, and people will probably disagree with me, but as much as I've played this, the rustling grass means absolutely nothing.
It seems that way.
I read online differently, though.
What did you... I mean, I've read online, too, that, if you walk around enough, eventually Pokemon come out. I've yet to have that happen. I've
Yeah.
only had it like I'll be walking on top of it, walking around it for like 5 minutes, and nothing will happen. And it's like, okay, and like I'll have a grass right next to me, and it says my nearest Pokemon are all 3 footsteps away from me. So it's not one of those. So I don't think the leaves have anything to do with the Pokemon near you.
I think it's
So
just random.
confusing. Here's the other thing too, is the game explains nothing.
Yeah, there's no
They tell you, here's how to catch Pokemon. You throw a Pokeball at it, and that's the most intuitive thing about the game. Like that's the easiest freaking thing. Like I can figure that out. Everything else, I'm like, what?
I'm all for needing to figure things out on our own. It would be nice to have a little bit more clarity about certain aspects of the game.
That are like a core part of
right.
the game.
Right.
Like yeah, I'm fine with like, oh, I wonder what types are here. If I go to the ocean, I'll get water types, or like that's a fun part for me, right? Or figuring out like, okay, we go to this area and get a bunch of Pidgeys, so I can have a monster Pidgeot, which I do. I forgot where I was going. I was so proud.
You're so proud of your picture. Well, all right, I'm going to start winding this down. Are there any other major points anyone wants to make about this?
I was going to bring up the gyms really quick. Then I got on to explaining Pokemon. The gyms, how they work is you can take over like a gym. You join a team at level 5, and then your team can take over the gym from another team and mix it into something like cool, that. My problem, like right now, there's a glitch that's happening where Pokemon are left at like 0 health and can still attack and just lose. Then the battling itself is kind of lackluster.
And that's the other thing that did not explain itself at all.
Yeah, no, you just have to figure it out. Actually, I don't know if there's anything, but anyways, it's just like, cause it's all like tap based. I wish it was like normal Pokemon battling with turn based. And I guess they wanted to go a new direction with that, but it's like you only get 2 abilities on each Pokemon, which I don't think you do. It's like you tap once to use your first ability, you hold the button thing down to use your second, and then you swipe to dodge. And you have to charge up your second ability with taps. It's
And
really
you're trying to do all these things at once, and I lost to like a CP 30 Ekans with my like 200 or 300 Pidgeot. I'm like, you're kidding? Because I didn't know what was going on. Stupid.
That does sound frustrating.
Yeah.
I do wish they would just institute regular combat with Pokemon you find in the wild as well, as a way to level up and evolve your Pokemon. That would be just, it's such a core concept of Pokemon.
So
The only thing they have close to that is, I guess, eventually, when you get to a certain level, you can get berries, and you can feed wild Pokemon berries. So, like,
Okay.
and that makes me think of like the safaris, like
Right,
Pokemon Safari,
right.
when you'd be like, throw food in it, like, please, I want this Chansey
by the way.
so bad.
the other thing, this game drains your battery.
Yeah.
That's why we've been running around with these things, because it will just eat it.
If you don't have an external battery back and you want to play Pokemon Go, get one now. It
Amazon
is-
Prime that shit, because
Yeah.
it will kill your battery. You can also turn off the AR, which is the camera, which I've been doing.
That's
Makes
another
it easier.
point, is that AR, which this game is kind of wrapped around, is I got bored of it really fast. I don't think it's very well implemented, unfortunately, because it's like you can look around and see it, and it's kind of silly and fun. But then once you actually have Pokemon, it like
freeze frames.
it freeze frames
And then crops it
and
off.
crops it and get like a white bar at the bottom. It's like takes you out of the moment completely, and then just eats your battery.
Yeah, the backgrounds they give you for the non-AR fetching is actually, it's much better. It feels more like Pokemon. So
Yeah.
I would definitely suggest turning AR off after the first few. Like, it has some novelty to it that's kind of fun and neat, but if you're like cruising around, definitely turn the AR off because you're just going to kill your battery.
Yeah, your
so
battery will thank
fast.
you for it.
Oh.
You know what the other thing that's disappointed me was how the trainers look.
Yeah.
Because I was really hoping for that iconic, Pokemon trainer.
I want more
Look, that art
customization
style.
options. If we're going to look at ourselves and walk down the street for hours and hours,
Yeah.
I would like more options with what my character looks like, wearing it, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Look about Pokemon Y and Z. Is Pokemon Y and Z the one where you could actually customize
yeah,
and
that
take-
was actually really
That
cool.
was perfect in different hairstyles, and they were actually the Pokemon art style. I love the Pokemon art style too.
It's
Like the trainers are so cute.
It's such a missed money-making
Yeah,
opportunity.
that's a SKU that they could take.
I
And
would
that's something I would
throw
spend
money
money on. Exactly. Like cosmetic shit. Like take my money. I would spend so much on Dream Girlfriends.
Who
That
knows? Maybe they will plan
I
to
hope
add
so.
Like I hope they add the TMs to the place. I hope they add this could
And
have
change
been,
the traders because they're so ugly and boring and basic looking. They
Could
look
have very well just been a minimum viable product release. Like they
Yeah.
just got it to where it needed to be, and they'll add on to it later.
That's what I'm hoping. I bet.
So before we close this on out, I do want to get final thoughts on everyone regarding the game.
I will go. I am really excited for this game. I'm really hopeful. My ultimate goal is to get all the cute Pokemon, all the ones that are most unthreatening, like Fairy and Jigglypuff, and just have them kick ass. And just make a gym and have it just be a monster scary gym of the most darling Pokemon ever. So yeah, I have big grand plans for Pokemon Go. It's gonna be glorious.
Yeah, sounds pretty solid. My plans may not be as grand as Charmy's, but I'm definitely going to keep playing the game and enjoying it. Pokemon's something I grew up with, something I really enjoy. So I'm glad the game came out. It's not perfect by any stretch. It has room to grow though, so I'm hoping it will continue to grow and to be expanded with its features and something we can enjoy for years to come. That's just my hope. We'll see if it happens.
I hope too.
Yeah, my thoughts. I think I would probably continue playing it, if anything, as a weight loss app, just to be walking around. But like, if they don't start adding stuff to it or fixing the problems that are in it right now, like just the steps, like those need to be fixed. I hate feeling like I'm just wandering and not have a sense of direction. If that doesn't get fixed, I could just see myself like waning out on this and just stopping playing eventually. But so far, I like the general premise, and I think it's nice to have a thing that nerds can get out and do stuff actively.
And let's be real, this isn't just going to be for nerds. Like, there's going to be those people that, like,
Yeah.
the nerds are the ones that are excited for it, but everyone, when they were a kid, almost everyone, played Pokemon
Yeah.
and secretly still likes
But
Pokemon.
Pokemon is cool now. Nerd stuff is cool
It's-
now.
That's true, but I think we're gonna still see a lot of people roaming around the streets with their phones out, looking and catch that.
I'm gonna go to the
happen.
mall just to catch Pokemon.
Just to
Not to be like a cool person, just to catch Pokemon.
Yep.
I'm sure a lot of people are doing that. People will be working, especially people at big stores. People like working at Macy's and Nordstrom's. They're just gonna be walking with their phones, just like, yeah, got that. Yeah, how can I help you, ma'am? Yeah.
Can you give me
just
one
got that,
moment?
yeah.
Let me check the back room. But I didn't ask for anything. Oh, but there's Neckens. Give me a
But
second.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think we're going to see this game for at least a little while
Yes.
longer. So that does it for our first Fireside Chat. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you haven't played Pokemon Go, go get it. Go make some friends randomly.
They're having
Hopefully-
a good time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't be that creepy person walking up in people's driveways though. Don't be driving.
Don't be
with
taking
it.
pictures of the little kiddos and turn on your AR.
Yeah, don't be that creepy person. Just be responsible about it, all right? So thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Jangular along with Kagor and Charmy, and thank you all again. We'll see you next time on AoE.